Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see who's here first. Hello, Judy Matasik. Thank you so much for being here first. And Henrietta Phillips, thank you. Bonnie Rose, Church Nelly. Um, yeah, Church Nelly, we're going to get rid of the Patreon. I'm going to get rid of it this month. So nobody, please sign up for Patreon. We're going to get rid of that one, but thank you so much for putting the link up there. But Patreon is fixing to go. Let's see here. Connie Balmer! Hey, Connie Balmer. Yes, you're here today. Thank you so much. Hi, Black Queen. Let's see. Wonderful Wednesday. Happy hump day, all. Good afternoon, Baron, Baronettes, Baronites, and all squaddies from around the world and beyond. Well, thank you so much for that. Okay, yeah, so anyway, let me oh yeah, the slide is here already. I was about to look for the slide. Um Look at that billowing cloud looming over everyone in that photo. So there was Harry's court ruling, WellChild, the New York car chase, or as Barbara Walters would say, the Newark war race. The Newark war race. And where's Kate Middleton? That is the question. You know, I have had some non squaddies asking me now, where is Kate Middleton? And I know there are some people who just really don't care, but this is the question that seems to be taking over social media. As a matter of fact, there's a bunch of TikTok conspiracy theories about what has happened to Kate Middleton. I posted a video last night. I hope you all watched it. It was the one where it says, what would happen? Is that the title? What would happen if William committed a terrible crime or something like that? So that's how far this has gone. But again, this is nobody's fault. The whole rollout of these medical issues or medical emergency that the royal family has had, the lack of coordination, one royal household is not speaking to the other, and it's just a big right royal mess. And it is not the greater public's fault that all of this information seems to have gotten confused, and that there is the injection of conspiracy theories. And now there's one member of the family who isn't necessarily royal, but he's royal adjacent, died mysteriously age 45. Now, when someone age 45 that appears to be the picture of health suddenly goes and sings with Gabriel, the Gabriel Heavenly Choir, then there's something terribly wrong with that. So that just adds to everyone's curiosity, I think. Okay, so let's get on with it. Tell you what, I'll do this because yeah, maybe that'll help. Maybe that'll help. Okay. Harlem Girl, thank you so much for being here. Very cool. All right. Church Nelly, there's a lot of people that are inclined to agree with you. How about this? I don't disagree with you. VS Speaks Royally. I'm so glad you're here because that means you're not on. I tried to make sure you weren't on right now. And looks like you're scheduled for tomorrow, I hope. So, yeah, I didn't want to schedule at the same time. But let me see here. I'll do that. And we will put VS link up there. There we go. so you all can find another Sussex friendly space. Usually on about this time, maybe a little earlier most days, I think. VS speaks royally with the trash time. Trash time. Okay. All right. Let me take that away. Oh, wait. Oh, no. I got to go over here to do that. All right. Fine. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Oh, and by the way, Church Nelly, thank you so much for 30 months membership. I think that's got to be a record. 30 months membership. Congratulations to you. 30 months membership. Wow. Just wow. All right. Very cool. Although I'm curious why that is not showing up. Let me try this then. Huh. Oh, well, I guess that's right. All right. Usually I can see that show up someplace else, but I don't see it right now. But that's fine. I'm just curious why I don't see it. Oh, man. Well, did I turn something off? Gosh, I hope not. Let me see. You all are still here, so that's good. Elaine Parker, we were just talking about you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. We were just talking about you last night. They said you were getting something done. So, anyway, but I'm glad you're here. That means you're okay for now, right? And later, I hope. I mean, stay okay. Make sure you stay okay. Wow, what a coincidence. Ella Parker. Hi, Ella Parker. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Okay, so let's get on with it, shall we? All right, so well child. Now, because everything has been so that way lately, all of us content creators were so afraid to share other videos because they have been getting us left and right for that. Something must have happened, but anyway, it ain't got nothing to do with us. But it's amazing who's allowed to do certain things. But I'm not going to complain. I'll just find another way around it. I'm going to find another way around it. Okay. Oh, that's weird. Where did that voice come from? Is this another video that just dropped?
Discover their sense of purpose and overcome adversity. What comes next doesn't always mean elite sport, but rather redefining purpose through a continued sense of service. That's been our mission these last 10 years, and one that Josh Bodgie knows well, both professionally as an integral part of the Invictus Games team and personally through his own recovery. In his role as community liaison, he is passionate about making sure that others have access to the same life-changing and, in some cases, life-saving opportunities that he had. Let's take a look.
They just dropped another video. You see, now that's why I don't like to come on early. You see what I mean? This is why, because everything is still coming out, especially since the Sussexes are going to be more visible this year. But let me check it out. There's a new video that's just dropped for Invictus. Let me check it out. Invictus Foundation. And oh, come on, buffering. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so give me a second here. Yeah, right. Okay. Okay. It's nothing like very serious or anything. It's just they dropped a video that promotes Invictus, which is cool, which is cool. But I will play the sound for you. Let me play the sound for you, and then I'll get the photo up very fast. Okay? It's a 3-minute video, but I'll play the sound.
At the Invictus Games Foundation, we know the power of sport in helping our international community of wounded, injured, and sick service personnel and veterans rediscover their sense of purpose and overcome adversity. What comes next doesn't always mean elite sport, but rather redefining purpose through a continued sense of service. That's been our mission these last 10 years, and one that Josh Bodgie knows well, both professionally as an integral part of the Invictus Games team and personally through his own recovery. In his role as community liaison, he is passionate about making sure that others have access to the same life-changing and, in some cases, life-saving opportunities that he had. Let's take a look.
Cycling to me is my freedom. I should be dead. I shouldn't be here doing this. It's that sense of being alive. That's what it is to me. So my name's Josh Bodgie. I'm the Invictus Games Community Liaison Executive at the Invictus Games Foundation. The Invictus Games Foundation was set up to support the rehabilitation of wounded, injured and sick personnel from around the world, not just during the Games, but post-Games as well. I was unfortunately injured in 2010 on my third tour of Afghanistan. I stepped on an improvised explosive device. Cycling has not only just kept me physically fit, my core to be strong, so I can walk on my prosthetic legs, so I can chase my little girl around the house. I love it. The wounded and sick community are able to get involved with in-person events again, like Ride London, for instance. It's just great seeing the guys and girls of the wounded, injured and sick community taking part and hopefully getting out of it what I got out of cycling. And that's why I really enjoy the job I do, and that's why I want to keep on doing these sort of virtual challenges and hopefully some more in-person challenges in the future.
Josh, you are a truly remarkable human. You served your country and completed 3 tours of Afghanistan. You were blown up, suffering a broken back and the loss of 3 limbs. You cycled across America and won several Invictus Games medals. You then nearly died again after suffering a blowout on a fast downhill when you collided with a truck in the Canary Islands. You survived that, and then sepsis nearly took your life. So what did you do to celebrate? Well, you threw yourself out of a perfectly decent airplane, not once but twice, over Nepal because you could. You volunteer at your local football club and are always helping others. There is no one in the world who deserves this more. You are the personification of resilience. And for everyone else, do not try this at home. Josh, you are the winner of the Invictus Games Foundation Unconquered Award. Congratulations, mate.
Okay, so Josh Bogey, Community Liaison Executive, the Invictus Games Foundation. He just won the Unconquered Award. Yeah, that's what he just called it. So yeah, this video literally just dropped minutes ago. Yeah, as you can see there, like 11 minutes ago. So there you go. Well, when I posted it 7 minutes ago. So yeah, that was a video that just dropped. Harry has dropped 2 videos today. That is his second video for today. Now let me get back to the first one for today, which is this one right here, and it was for the WellChild Award. And well, since I was about to do that one, let me go ahead and finish it, and then I got a lot of stuff to get to, so let me just get these 2 things done first, and then I'll continue. Wow, busy day today. Busy day. I'm here for it. Okay, so got that. Okay, let me organize my thoughts here. So I don't need that. Oh my goodness, where did I get that from? Okay. Oh, so anyway, let me do this first. Oh, go back there. Go here. Okay, you know what? Maybe I won't do the video for that one. But there's a short video that Harry has. I'll play it later. Okay, so it says today, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, shared a video message encouraging nominations across the UK for the annual WellChild Award. The WellChild Award, in association with GSK or GlaxoSmithKline, celebrate inspirational children and young people in the United Kingdom who are seriously ill, and the dedication of those who go that extra mile to make a real difference in their lives. The Duke has been WellChild patron for 15 years. 15 years. Helping to ensure that the charity can pursue its mission to improve the quality of life for children and their families facing incredible hardships across the United Kingdom, he stated. It's such a privilege to honor the immense courage and compassion of this incredible community, but to do that, we need you to take a moment and nominate the remarkable individuals who inspire you. Your involvement makes a huge difference, so please join us in celebrating the amazing superstars who will be recognized at the 2024 WellChild Award. Nominate an inspirational child or caregiver, or carer that is, here. So, as you know, they have the annual gala for the Invictus Awards. I'm sorry, for the WellChild Awards every September. And if you recall, that one year the Sussexes weren't unable to go because, well, the Queen died. So, but that was one of the events that Harry goes to every year. And during the pandemic, it was a challenge. And then the Queen died. There's another challenge. But even during the pandemic, they even made a special arrangement so that Harry, I mean, everybody kept it secret to make sure Harry was able to attend the WellChild. They had it at, I think it was it Kew Garden? Was it? I think it was Kew Garden. Well, anyway, they had it in the park of the property so that they would, meet all of the specifications needed for the pandemic, and that was really cool. So here's that little soundbite for this
please
one.
join us in celebrating the WellChild Awards is our chance to celebrate the extraordinary strength and spirit of young people with complex medical conditions from across the United Kingdom. It allows us to shine a spotlight on the resilience and positivity that they demonstrate every single day, and to recognize the incredible support from the families, friends, and professionals around them. It is such a privilege to honor the immense courage and compassion of this incredible community. But to do that, we need you to take a moment and nominate the remarkable individuals who inspire you. Your involvement makes a huge difference. So please join us in celebrating the amazing superstars that will be recognized at the 2024 WellChild Awards.
How cool is that? 2 videos dropped on the same day. So we had that one and, of course, this one. And it looks like it may have been on their stately palatial estate. Who knows? But, wow, very cool. Very cool. So, okay. Oh, Connie Balmer! Thank you so much, Connie Balmer. Okay, where did I? Oh, there we are, right there. Glad to be in live chat again. We're so happy that you're here as well. Thank you so much for being here live and in person, Connie Balmer. Thank you, Connie Balmer. Okay. Heather Oliver Parker. A lot of Parkers today, right? There's Elaine Parker, Ellie Parker, and now Heather. Elaine Parker, is your whole family here with us? Wow, that's cool. Now they'll see what you've been up to. Well, if you are part of Elaine Parker's family, I could assure you this is a totally wholesome family gathering that we have every day. There is nothing odd or weird or strange about any of us. Let's see. Church Nelly said, Baron Ivy's brother just died. Oh no! Love, hugs, healing, and prayers for Ivy and her family. Oh, that's a nightmare. Oh my goodness. I saw something from Ivy earlier somewhere and I didn't get a chance to look at it. Did she have a video? I think about that. Let me see. Did she have a video earlier? Oh, yes, that's what that was. Okay, it says here morning, afternoon, evening to all members. Further to my news and the last message related to my brother's illness, just to let you all know he is now at peace. Thank you for your kind words. It was very much appreciated. Okay, so let me see here. I'm going to see if I can get the. You know what? I'll do a card on the community tab later. How about that? I will put a tab up on the community tab so that you all can leave some thoughts and messages of kindness for Ivy. Okay. All right. I'll remind myself to do that. All right. Thank you so much, Church Nelly. I didn't get a chance to look at it. I thought she had dropped a video, but that was a message that she had dropped. Thank you so much for letting me know. Okay. All right. So, and where I'm at, I'm still on the second slide. I'm only on the second slide. How long? And I've been on for almost 30 minutes and I'm still on the second slide. No wonder I'm on here for so long. Connie, it's a good thing you got here early because I'd probably still be on by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. Let's see. Blue Jaw says, thanks for the early update, Baron. I was anxious after reading about the court ruling first thing this morning, but things are looking better now. Amen. Yeah, the court ruling is a disappointment, but you know how they say there's a certain yin and yang? Well, definitely that is true. There's a certain yin and yang to life. So let me continue so we can get to that part of it. Thank you so much for the super chat. So take a look here. There is one of the past photos of WellChild. That particular year, our Duchess was there with Prince Harry. And hopefully, in the future, she will be able to join him again. But they have to work out this security thing. I'm assuming the reason why they weren't there the last time was because they still haven't worked out this security thing. And I was hoping that there would be some resolution to that soon, considering that the Sussexes are willing to pay, Harry in particular said that he is willing to pay for the privilege of being protected by the same security forces that have been in place and have supposed to or were supposed to protect him for the rest of his life. But because of the malicious, vindictive backstabbing at the palaces of the Windsor family, and everybody has been going back and forth about this. We're better than that. We should take the high road. Don't wish anything bad on anybody. Stop being that way and this way. When they go low, we go high. If there's anything I can think of that is a low, that is stripping a prince of the realm, a blood prince, the child of a sovereign, the grandchild of a sovereign, someone who fought for his country, and someone who is still serving his country. And yet they stripped his security away. WellChild is a UK based not for profit charitable organization that has helped a lot of people. And as mentioned, 15 years Harry has been involved with WellChild. 15 years. And that's just one of the extraordinary things that Harry has done in his life and part of that miserable family. And yet, and yet, they took his security away, not only making things more threatening for him, but for his family. The man who has helped so many families finds himself vulnerable and unable to go home. Home is home. Yes, he has a home in California, but he was born in the United Kingdom. His mother took him out on the steps of that Lindo wing, and he deserves better than this. The British people deserve better. But instead, we are watching their misdeeds being paid forward, the misdeeds of the press, who seem to not know what to do with themselves right now, the misdeeds of members of that family, and of course, let us not forget the courtiers. But eventually, all of these little things that are done in the dark will be brought out into the light of the day. And all of the lies will be exposed. All of the misdeeds will be dealt with one by one. But there's a reason why certain things happen. I told y'all they have made a big mistake. All of them praying aunties and grandmothers in the Sussex squad. It kind of reminds me of that time when Tabitha Brown said, "What is it about my happiness that triggers you?" Remember that? Tabitha said, "What is it about my happiness that triggers you?" And look at what happened. Look at what happened. So I shouldn't laugh, but you see what I'm saying? Look at what happened. The same people that you crawl on and step on the way up are the same people that are going to step out of the way as you go tumbling down. Remember that, evildoers. So, now, as I said, there seems to be a certain yin and yang to things today. Yes, well, Jasmine, you probably remember her from, I think it was Jeremy Vine's show. Harry and Meghan were dangerously chased through Manhattan. New York's police department says the chase really did happen and has concluded that the behavior of the paparazzi chasing Harry and Meghan was not just reckless, but also persistently dangerous. Remember that. It wasn't just reckless, but it was also dangerous. Persistently dangerous, meaning that they attempted over and over again to try to catch up to them, even though they've had a near collision here and a near collision there. They just wouldn't stop. They just wouldn't stop. What was supposed to be an incredible night for the Sussexes, I don't know about you all, but as great as that evening started out, I rarely go back and look at any of the photos or videos from that time because I don't know if you would call it PTSD, but it seems to have had an effect, a very negative effect. And it was demoralizing to all of the people that know and love the Sussexes. And that was what it was meant to do. It was to ignite fear for them. And of course, it was supposed to serve as a way to show us who's in control. we know that it had to have been someone from the paparazzi, I'm sorry, from the tabloids, that essentially put a bounty, whatever price, and they were supposed to have offered top dollar for photos. Whoever set the price really set things into play. And not only that, because Doria was there, it implied that the children were likely in New York City. And that also seems to have caused a bit of excitement. They were salivating, actually, the paparazzi, because the big prize for them is to know where the Sussexes were staying and hopefully to have photos of the children, to take photos of the children no matter what. And so we don't know if the children were there. But the other thing that is really scary is, just as we were saying yesterday about having the whole Wells family, as in, Will and Kate and the kids in a helicopter, you have Doria, Meghan, and Harry in an SUV, and then eventually a taxi. And I have to admit, when I went to bed that night, I was so excited, and I just I was like, oh, what a great night. We have these photos and everything. And they were even cooperating and allowing them to have photos. They could have found another way so that there would have been no photos or very few photos. But, the Sussexes were like, okay, we'll just walk to the SUV. And that could not have been a worse mistake. But who would have thought that once we gave you photos, that you would still feel the need to get into this high-speed chase? So it was the stuff of nightmares. It really was. And I'm just glad to know that some official voices have come out and admitted to the fact that there was a chase, right? And that there was the possibility that someone could have been hurt, that this was not made up. I mean, we know what the truth is, but they somehow managed to convince the greater public that it was all exaggerated, which of course it certainly was not. But they managed to convince a great deal of the public that this was an exaggeration. And, and that cost, that was a high price to pay. It really was a high price to pay. Nothing good came out of that. That was awful. And even the mayor of New York seemed to be of the opinion that this could not happen. And so every little word, the tabloid media was there clinging to it, and twisting the words and having a big laugh about it. And to me, that was the worst part of it, was the laughing. That was the worst part of it. They made it out to be a big joke. As serious as something like that could have been, they made it out to be a big joke. And that added insult to injury. So fortunately, the truth is out there. There has been an admission. Oh, and by the way, you guys, there's a good chance that there's a couple of people that will end up in jail. There's a few people that may end up in jail, so we can look forward to that. Hopefully, that somebody is going to jail. Now, let me play this.
They're in a blacked out SUV. You can't really see in there anyway. The object of the game seemed to be to conduct a surveillance that took them back to where they were going, so that the paparazzi could stake that out, camp out there, and then be able to follow their every move. So they were trying to thwart that. And I mean, that goes literally, they go all the way uptown, can't shake them, they're trying to slow down. Now, they're not running red lights, they're not speeding, but these people are swarming around, blocking the front of the car, driving through red lights into oncoming traffic. At one point, when two of the SUVs in the motorcade didn't move while the car with the Duke and Duchess went, one of those paparazzi cars mounted the sidewalk, hit something, skirted the corner, came off the sidewalk, pedestrians scattering.
How long did this go on for?
So this goes on for an hour and a half plus until they finally say, we've been uptown, we've been downtown to 23rd Street, uptown to 96th Street, FDR Drive, 3rd Avenue, side streets, and we can't lose this pack. So Tommy Buddha, who is the guy running the motorcade on the private security side, former FBI, NYPD, JTTF detective, very competent guy, says, let's go somewhere safe, take a breather and make a plan. So they go to the 19th Police Precinct. That's where they shift to the taxi, but the spotters for the paparazzis end up following them. And then they go to plan C, which actually works.
And they shifted to the taxi, John, as a decoy to throw off the paparazzi?
The idea would be the paparazzi were focused on the motorcade that was in place. And if they could slip them into a taxi that would then disappear at midnight into a sea of other taxis in Manhattan traffic, it might actually be the getaway, because the place they were going actually wasn't far away. It was a couple of blocks.
Okay, that was sort of what the mayor was alluding to. How could it be a high-speed chase in New York City? We wish that we could do a high-speed chase, but at times it was, right, John?
So this was a never a high-speed chase, because the motorcade had an NYPD element in it from the Intelligence Bureau. And the instructions were, we're not lights and sirens, we're not running lights, we're following traffic regulations, we're there as a protection detail. Now, the paparazzi, that was a different set of rules, because they went high speed to catch up. There was a time on 34th Street where they were, half a block behind the motorcade, and they literally crossed the yellow lines, drove into oncoming traffic until they caught up and placed themselves back there. That was among 20 things that happened, from 23rd Street to 96th Street as they tried to stay, on their tail.
Sonny, had you ever seen anything else like this in your years of driving taxi?
No. I've been driving now since 2018. This was the first time I saw this. I had other celebrities, but other celebrities never got that much attention from the paparazzis.
That's interesting. And so does that give you a sense? I mean, now today, with all the attention that this has gotten, does that surprise you? And does it give you a sense of what their lives must be like?
Yeah, you can tell, right? He lost his mother, running away from the paparazzis as well. So you can tell they were nervous and scared in the car.
Yeah.
They would have been covered as representatives of the crown, as members of the royal family, as a diplomatic trip. Basically, they're private citizens now, and not on a government mission here. But, the first rule of risk management, as we were taught long ago, is predictable is preventable. When you have two people that are going to draw this kind of attention and potentially this kind of mayhem, you put a police element in there just in the name of public safety. And that's why the NYPD was, along with the private security. The complicating factor is, as it was just said here by Richard, that's to protect them from threats that you would have against royals and people like that, terrorists, stalkers, assassins, the normal threats. When you're surrounded by, this swarm of press that are literally slowing you down, blocking you at intersections, then trying to catch up to you, if there is a real threat, getting off the X is that much harder.
Yeah. Aaron, it's interesting to hear Sonny say that he's transported celebrities before, but he's never seen anything like this.
It's just, I think it's really hard for us in the US to understand the scale of the interest that still exists in the UK for them. Once we, in the month of February, Meghan made no public appearances, and we kind of, as a journalistic exercise, decided to count the number of stories that the Daily Mail ran on her. Never spotted in public at any point in time, more than 100 stories. And some of them were just like, they're just things that happened, like something from her blog from 2014 that was repeated 4 times. And it's just, at a certain point, they understand now that they can't really get rid of that interest, but I think that they're trying to do their hardest to I think that they've been using shame tactics, they've been using legal tactics to try to discourage some of this. And so I think that that's why this became public in the first place, is because people started running those photos and they were thinking, okay, we don't want them to be running these photos. We don't want the people who are making our lives miserable last night to make the money off of it. And after sharing the story, the Daily Mail and the Express took those photos down.
See, Richard, even when they lay low.
Sunday and the Mail Online. The way it's been phrased within the Mail on Sunday and the Mail Online is just that looking forward to the Queen's Diamond Jubilee celebrations in June. I mean, they are literally saying that if Harry and Meghan come, the media circus around them will distract from the Queen's celebrations. Well, who is driving the media circus around them? Step forward, the Mail Online and the Mail on Sunday.
Exactly. And Angela has been saying that Harry says he wants security and he might be in danger. Oh, please, he's narcissistic. So I would like to draw the attention to an article that was in the Mirror in March last year, where under the heading, as Army, let me just read it out again so I get it right. Prince Harry amongst most at-risk royal as Army service makes him top terror target. And the journalists have interviewed a couple of years back somebody from the Taliban who said ever since he joined the army, they've been trying to get him. And then as an Afghan leader, Owari Masrullah, who said it's just Harry's luck that he've been managed to escape so far. And then they've interviewed a former SSL soldier, Bob Kraft, and this was on the 11th of March 2021, who said that Harry is clearly a target for kidnapping, terrorism, and a whole lot of threats, and will need protection for a very long time. But whatever you think he should or shouldn't, and this gets me upset.
Oh, Gertrude.
5 days. He risked his country for 10 years, and the Queen observed us for 70 years, and they can't give them 5 days peace. It's horrendous.
Gertrude, please. I'm sorry you feel so sort of emotional about it, and I can understand why this story might resonate with people, and certainly anybody who's had family difficulties. I'm sure you can feel or empathise with different characters in this story. Gertrude, I'd like to say, I take all your points, brilliant points, by the way, about how Harry is a target and has been a target for evil.
That's it for now. Please. Okay, so of course, it's bad enough that Sonny, the cab driver, he definitely grates on your nerves, because for him it was all such a big joke. And then when Gertrude started crying, this guy, I cut it off before he said something stupid, but he was nearly as bad as Sonny, the cab driver. It's amazing how, on the one hand, certain people get it, and then on the other hand, they either joke or downplay it or start using the tabloid talking points. At the most inopportune time, they revert back to the tabloid talking points. So that is, it grates on my nerves. So, but so that was a video that I had posted not long after the event, and John Miller brought a great deal of clarity, which was not necessarily enough to make the bad feelings go away, but at least I think he was on CNN, was it? At least he was on, television, and he was speaking truth about the events. And now, finally, the police say they have enough evidence to even arrest a couple of people. So it was a long time coming, and I'm glad that the Sussexes didn't say much about it, or actually say anything about it since that time, and let the process play out the way that it's supposed to, because otherwise the tabloids would have turned to the court of public opinion again and tried to drown them with enough of the misinformation and the jokes and everything that it could affect the investigation, and we definitely didn't want that. So the wise thing to do was to let the process work the way that it's supposed to, instead of trying to shout your way to some type of resolution. Better to use the laws that are available and let the officials do their job. So we may hear more about it very soon. Lizette Zog, thank you so much for the super chat. Never underestimate the power of the aunties. Amen to that. Thank you so much, and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. And Judy Matasset, the BBC News, were laughing at the verdict. Yeah. It's a joke to a lot of people. It's a joke, and it's the same people that would gladly report the worst possible news if things went terribly wrong. So, and this is why so many people are turning away from the traditional news media and they're going to the social media. So that way you can at least get a mixture of voices instead of having just that one gentleman in a suit, or that one lady in her sports coat and the big hair telling you the party line, or telling you what their inside people are telling you, telling them what they should report. You get a variety of voices. So that's the good thing about social media. And that's why all of the traditional news agencies, that's why they all want to go to TikTok. I mean, why do they want to go to TikTok? Why is the Daily Mail on TikTok? Because they know that that's where most people are getting their news from nowadays. They want to go to social media. They want to be on YouTube. They want to be any place where they know people are, because they have chased people away with their nonsense from traditional television. But thank you so much, Judy, and thank you for being here and being a member of Royal Sussex. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to miss the bulk of the comments. I'm pretty sure it's some good stuff. Eva Berglund, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being here today and being a member of Royal Sussex. And oh wow, Laverne Showers, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being here. Okay, wow, it was quite a conversation. How long was I playing that video? That was kind of a longer video than I thought it was, but anyway, I'm so glad I still have it, though. It's like one of those little receipts that you hang on to, because sometimes it helps to explain things. Okay, Lady Bird said this is why on Talk TV and GB News they get so many calls where people are pro Harry and Meghan. People will get sick of the hate mongering. Yes, absolutely. And hate mongering, that's exactly what it is. It really is. The Talk TV and GB News, if you could put a dollar sign, or if you could put a pound note on how much of their profits are driven by this hate for Harry and Meghan every day. And of course, the most disingenuous thing is this tone of, well, what are they up to in Montecito? They roll their shoulders forward, they droop down in the chair and roll their eyes. What are they up to? If it's that much of a burden, then stop talking about them. If it's really pulling you down, if it's really upsetting you that much, then stop talking about them. That's all you got to do, is stop talking about them. But we all know you won't do that. We all know you won't do that. Let me see. I really hate to do this, but I'm on a roll. Do I have that one? No, I don't. Or do I? Yes, yes, yes. Oh, no wonder I can't find it. I didn't spell it right. But okay. Let me do this first.
We either.
Okay, y'all know who that is already. But let me just, I'm still on the fourth slide. Lord have mercy. But let me go back here. Okay. So, I didn't have to do anything. She was already there. So that's, is that the right person? Well, anyway, that's Jasmine. Okay, I just said earlier, you probably remember her, right? This is her right here.
On one side or your family, a really polarizing subject that we either love to be on one side or the other of. And I think it's really unfair for us to make decisions about what they should be doing and whether they should be coming back. They're a family. If they want them to come back and they decide to spend time with their grandma, then they should do. And the idea that you're calling it could be a distraction and Prince Charles is worried. Well, the distraction proves that beside the Queen, Harry and Meghan are the most popular royals. And so basically,
I think they're the most
you only need to look at
controversial.
today's front pages and the whole weekend to see that Harry and Meghan, if they can splash a picture of Harry and Meghan anywhere with a headline, they will do it. So I'm a producer and I have also worked for Netflix. So I will say this to you. We all say that Harry and Meghan want their privacy, but they want to be in the public eye. They just didn't want to be bullied, abused and harassed by the press. They didn't say that they were never going to come out again and do things on their own terms.
No, they are for privacy.
Shining a light on the Invictus Games, heroes and veterans who should have a light shone on them.
You cannot be a royal and get rich, and Prince Andrew's tried to do that, and it's disastrous. At least they've said we divorce the royal family and we'll get rich separately.
Are you really holding them to different standards than the rest of the royal family? Because we have a whole list that we could bring up of Fergie, Andrew and all the rest of them who have tried to use their royal connections to get meetings and business deals for people outside of this country with our government. That you're holding them to completely different standards.
Let's have some calls.
People love them. They're popular.
That's very interesting, yeah.
Oh, Jeremy Vine, stuff a sock in it. Oh, God. Jeremy Vine pretending to be stupid. Pretending he's ignorant. He already knows better. He knows better. He does a good job of playing silly. Let's see. So Misan Harriman posted this earlier. Harry and Meghan were dangerously chased through Manhattan. NYPD says it emerged in the judgment that the NYPD found that the chase in May really did happen, and has concluded that the behavior of the paparazzi chasing Harry and Meghan was not just reckless, but also persistently dangerous in what is likely to be a sweet vindication for Harry and Meghan. A senior officer at the New York Police Department has said that the city not only holds enough evidence to arrest two people for reckless endangerment, but has also upgraded its security protocol for visits by Prince Harry and Meghan following the incident last May. In a letter to the Metropolitan Police in London, dated December 6, 2023, the New York Police Department's Chief of Intelligence discussed certain changes to the security posture that will be afforded to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex following a thorough review of the incident. The intelligence chief wrote, "We found the following reckless disregard of vehicles and traffic laws and persistently dangerous and unacceptable behavior on the part of the paparazzi during the night in question. The individuals operated vehicles, scooters, and bicycles in a manner that forced the security team, which included the NYPD lead car, to take evasive actions on several occasions, and the circuitous route to avoid being struck by pursuing vehicles or trapped on side blocks." And that was in the Daily Beast today. So again, the evidence is there. They have investigated. I know it's been frustrating because since May, it seemed like there was no movement on this, but there has been movement and there has been vindication. So we can look forward to hearing about this again later on. So hold tight. There is definitely going to be some repercussions. There's at least 2 people. I hope it's that loudmouth. Remember that British guy, the paparazzi guy that's always yelling at Meghan? I hope he's one of them. God, I hope he's one of them. I cannot stand that little... I almost said it again. It rhymes with stick. Yeah, I can't stand that little stick. Stick. Yeah. It rhymes with stick. I cannot stand that little stick. Anyway, before I say it, let me move on. Yeah, he's a real stick in the mud. Dangerous and unacceptable behavior could lead to arrest of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's car chase. To arrest in them. Okay. And Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were involved in a car chase with paparazzi in May. So even the Rolling Stone is writing about that little stick. Oh, okay. So thank you, Lottie. Thank you. Yes, should sue those manufacturers, right? They should sue those manufacturers. Absolutely. Wow, don't we have a potty mouth today, right? Let me see. Zabeda Ali says Barron is our favorite guy because his podcast is fantastic. So many adjectives to describe his podcast. Yes, thank you so much. Absolutely. And I have a few adjectives that I want to use to describe that little stick in the mud. Oh, man, if I ever run into him, I'm going to do some descriptions right to him face to face. Okay, so as I said then, I'll say it now. I believe Harry, Meghan, and Doria. I believe exactly what they said happened that night. And we know that there are records of it. And while they may not catch all of them, they will be dealt with. And there's only one way to know for sure exactly who was out there. I'm pretty sure that most of the people were in touch with their overlords back on Fleet Street that asked for the photos in the first place. But, if we can get 2 of them, maybe we can find out who the rest of them were. But, and let's hope this be a warning. And also, let us not overlook the part where they said that they were going to change the way things are done in the future. So in the future, when the Sussexes come and visit, they're going to make sure that they're that much more safe. And remember, when they went to the Hudson Yards, it seemed like there was a great deal of security. And once again, people were making fun of them. Oh, they only went a couple blocks. Why did they get inside of those SUVs to go 2 blocks? Harry and Meghan are the most influential couple in the world. They are the most influential royals on the planet. And for that reason, there's a lot of security needs for them, as you would with any visiting head of state. And that's all to it. That's all to it. Is that there's a great deal of interest. And while there's this much interest in whether or not they stop for a cup of coffee or whether or not they run into Bergdorf's and Goodman, whatever the case may be, as long as there's that much interest, then we need that much security. Let us decide. We don't need the skepticism from Fleet Street. There. I said what I said. So, look who's in Hello Canada. Winning hearts in Canada. Meghan's comeback. The gentle Duchess cheers on her prince amid big plans of her own. Back, she never went away. She never went away. There's no comeback. She's been here. As a matter of fact, we've been reading about her day after day after day, sometimes the same 3 or 4 stories in the same day, sometimes a quote from the TIG from years ago. She never went away. Even when she's not there, she's there, according to the British tabloid media. But yeah, she's never gone away. But again, this is 2024, and there are going to be some big announcements and big projects coming up. So, and we will be here to talk about it for sure. So just, make sure when you guys go on the social media, don't make it personal and don't threaten anybody, because we need all the warriors that we can get out here. And one of the things that is happening is that a lot of squatties are being suspended and blocked from social media and such. And well, we don't want that to happen to anyone. So just make sure you keep it cute. Just state the facts. That's all. Just reinforce what the truth is. And a lot of times, we're fussing and arguing with bots, not even real people. And if they're not bots, then they're just paid to hate. Yeah, they're just paid to hate. Anyway, I could not find a way to read the article or get anything out of it. But if you have access to Hello Canada, if you can get past the paywall or whatever, that is available to you. All right, so Prince Harry loses High Court challenge over UK security protection. Like I said, there's a certain yin and yang today. There's a seesaw effect. While it appears that things are looking up and looking brighter as far as what happened in New York last May, there's also this about security: shameful and prejudiced. Denying Prince Harry high-level UK security, knowing he and Meghan Markle, and children face significant death threats because he's king's son, and they face an explosion of bigoted hate, which royal family is complicit in. Ooh, say what you mean, Shola. And does nothing to protect them from is wicked. Not being a working royal is utterly irrelevant. Gaslighting us with, but taxpayers' money is an insult when protecting life warrants funding it. This is punishment for leaving. And that's all it is. This is punishment for leaving. And in William's case, it's just plain old jealousy. If Harry was there or he wasn't there, William would be manipulating and conspiring behind the scenes one way or the other. But yeah, this is a punishment for leaving. This is a punishment for speaking truth. And as for Charles, especially given the situation such as it is, even now, the king, it's almost embarrassing to call him the king, because a king, even if he is a figurehead, if he's not doing everything that he can to protect his son, he might be a king, but he's not a man. He is not being much of a man. He should be doing everything within his power to protect his son. He can not only protect Harry, but he could actually help create a legacy that will share more than just it'll speak more than just about the Prince's Trust and being the longest serving Prince of Wales in the history of the country, probably the longest waiting crown prince in the history of the United Kingdom. I'm sorry, not United Kingdom, but Europe. I mean, after all, a crown prince and the Prince of Wales is pretty much the equivalent title. You're just waiting to be king or queen, right? You're just waiting to be king. So that's what a crown prince is. So if you're called the crown prince or princess, you're waiting for your turn on the throne. And so William, being the crown prince William, he's waiting to be king, just like his father was. But his father waited 70 years. And then he gets there, he has the power, and he's doing nothing to protect his son. Nothing. And I tell you, if those tabloids were to call him out on this ever, it would probably make a difference because they seem to be the only people that he listened to. But because the tabloids have helped him and his concubine rebuild their reputation, they can not do anything or do something, it wouldn't matter. They are anti-Sussex all day long, and that's just where we are. But still, Charles isn't much of a man if he's not protecting his son. He's a child, a petulant child, just like his other son. And the thing that really gets me is that they love to say that Harry is the petulant prince. No, it's not Harry, it's William, the one who couldn't go to the event yesterday. It's not Harry, it's William, the one who took the first possible excuse to call off from work so that he could take care of his wife. That's the one that's petulant. That's the petulant prince, not Harry. Harry's hardworking and humble. The whole idea of Harry losing security protection, I believe, is to only have Harry being able to go to the UK without Meghan. They rub their hands with joy every time Harry has to go to the UK by himself. Yeah, and that is also why Harry gets in and get out and does the very least possible showing himself around the country. The most you see of him is at whatever event, entering and exiting, and then he's done. That's it. Harry could put Union Jacks in the hands of a lot of people to promote brand Britain, right? If you really want to promote the country, they would not do the things that they're doing right now, being so anti-Prince Harry. Harry could go to these Commonwealth countries. Harry could come to the UK. He can go wherever. And he really should be a standard bearer for the country to help promote Britain. It's a missed opportunity. It is a missed opportunity. It just goes to show you how stubborn and how ignorant people are. It's just like Brexit. You cut off your nose just to spite your face. And that's what they're doing. They are cutting off their nose to spite their face. You have a gold mine with Prince Harry. You have a gold mine with Meghan. But because of petty jealousy, they have just thrown it all away. They have thrown it all away. And yesterday, or was it 2 days ago? I think it was yesterday. Someone had made reference to William's mental competence. Well, anyway, someone had made reference to it. I didn't highlight it or read the comment, but it's one of those things where you want to be politically correct. But I really do believe that there's something missing with him. I can't diagnose him. I'm not qualified. I can't diagnose him because I don't know him. I haven't spent any time with him or spoken to him. So not only do I not have the credentials, I haven't even had a conversation with William. But from what I see from afar, And from past events, when I've seen someone on television, I'm just like, oh, I wonder if, fill in the blank. And then I find out, yeah, that person is a little different, to be polite, a little different. And it doesn't mean that a person is not capable, but along with all of that, the persistent anger that he has and this unmanaged life that he needs to be managed. He needs a caregiver. He needs someone to help him manage his rage, right? And he needs someone to be accountable or someone to answer to. That is the worst thing that's happened, is that no one can reach him. No one can reach William because he is above the law. He is above any decorum or good sense. He doesn't have to, and so therefore he doesn't. He doesn't answer to anyone. And I wonder sometimes, if Diana was alive, would he even listen to her? He doesn't answer to anyone. And they're trying to convince people that he's this normal, hardworking bloke. He's just like everybody else. No, he's not. The man has serious problems. Serious. If he was anyone else, it would possibly be manageable. But you can't manage someone who is above reproach. You cannot do or say anything to him, especially once he gets on that throne. He will be completely untouchable. And instead of going after the Sussexes, they ought to be afraid of that. And I know some of them are aware of it, but nobody has enough sense to try to manage this situation. The only person who can conceivably do it, but is unable to, especially now that they're too old and possibly too ill, is Charles. Charles is the only one who can have any say over him. And this is why I used to tell you guys a long time ago, William was the king of Kensington Palace. As the highest ranking royal, I'm pretty sure most people were afraid of him. And the reason why some of the staff people in Kensington Palace were crying, it wasn't because they were afraid of Meghan. It was because they were afraid of him. They were in the worst possible position because of him, worried about the wrath of William. And then throw in his practically nonverbal wife, who is just full of shade and contempt, but unable to speak it. That was the co-conspirator, husband and wife. Although I would say she was in the unenviable position, being married to him, but the two of them are absolutely dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. Worse than Charles and Camilla. Absolutely dangerous. And it just goes to show you how foolish and ignorant and stubborn and selfish a lot of the people involved are, is the fact that they will uphold the two worst possible people to sit on those thrones next. The two worst possible people. Horrible people. William is horrible. I make no apologies for saying it. He's ignorant, stupid, and absolutely impossible. The worst possible person, accountable to no one. And yet, he's going to have all of this power at his beck and call, and people are going to suffer for it. It's going to be such a huge fall from grace for him. Don't know how it's going to happen, but I did predict that he wasn't going to go to Commonwealth Day, and Commonwealth Day is not here yet. But I wasn't exactly wrong because he didn't go to the Constantine prayer service, the remembrance for Constantine. I had the wrong date, but the circumstances were the same because he didn't want to sit there with his stepmother. He didn't want to sit there. I don't think he cares about his uncle, but it's the stepmother. That one right there, I think that's a huge problem for him. That's a huge problem. He did not want to sit there with Camilla. He didn't want to be led into church by Camilla. He didn't want to have to engage with Camilla, and he'll have to sit right next to her. He didn't even have Kate to put between the two of them. So let's see if he goes to Commonwealth Day. I kind of think he has to go now, but I wouldn't be surprised if he don't. Thank you for your comment. Horrible person. Evil, malicious, horrible person. This item being petty. That's why Invictus won't be back to the... Yeah. Thank you so much, B. Martin. Yeah, and you know, they may have won a day in court, but they certainly have lost Invictus. Their only hope for Invictus, and maybe that's the point. Maybe they don't want Invictus there. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they don't want Invictus. But that's okay. Harry's going to appeal. He's going to appeal, and hopefully someone can talk some sense into these people. You know, and I don't care if Harry never goes back, but I care that he wants to go back. That I do care about. I mean, that's his home. Scobie says, while I firmly believe that the Princess of Wales should be allowed to recover without disturbance or prying, it's bizarre to me that the same conscience-free papers who hack, harass, who have made me feel unsafe by flying drones to stalk me have suddenly learned the meaning of privacy. Well, that's a new one. I didn't know that he was being stalked by drones, rather. But yeah, so exclusive author in-game. Author Scobie stayed in something LA Villa before Bombshell book came out. Wow. So they were flying drones over the house where he stayed? I did not know that. Wow. I had no clue about that. Well, they're up to their old tricks, aren't they? They are up to their old tricks. Flying drones over someone's house. And that's only because it was cheaper and easier than a helicopter. It is 2024, I guess, but wow. But he's right. The same people that seem to have no conscience when it comes to harassing and all the other stuff, they all of a sudden feel as though it is paramount that Kate and Willie have their privacy. Royal experts warn the royal family must be open about William's absence from engagement after mystery sparked concern for Kate Middleton's health. William pulled out of attending the service for the late King Constantine of Greece for unspecified personal reasons. I say let them twist on the vine. Who cares? But yeah, they have really mishandled the information about Charles and Kate, and they're paying the price for it right now. Not to mention when William pulled out of this event because they have not kept people up to date. And it didn't have nothing to do with Kate anyway, but they didn't even have enough sense to lie and say that it was about Kate. Of course, if they would have done that, then that would have put more pressure on the idea that no one has seen Kate. So in a way, they would have really shot themselves in the foot if they would have lied and said, oh, he couldn't come because Kate wasn't well, right? But instead, they just said for personal reasons. Sounds like baking soda or something else to me. Oh, well, you know what? I don't want to help them out. Keep making mistakes. Keep making mistakes. Liz Jones says the kids put duty first rather than stay with their grieving daughter, Lady Gabriella. If only William had done the same rather than let the rumor mill spin out of control. He has been brought up with duty as his watchword. What on earth could have prompted Prince William's dramatic last-minute no-show? Liz Jones, you know better than what we will ever know. Why don't you tell us? Why won't anyone tell us? They know. The press knows, and they're just not saying. They know what's up with William. I'm sure some of them do. I bet you Rebecca English knows, the coordinator of the Royal Rota. I bet you she knows. I bet you quite a few of them know. What's his name? I bet he knows. Robert Jobson, the one who's always sitting there with his feet under the king's table eating something. I bet you he knows what's going on, but they won't tell us. Remember that one video that I shared with you guys when they said that there were some very fruity stories. There were some fruity stories. Oh, by the way, I guess I could say the name. Dorothy Ross, thank you so much for the PayPal. Thank you very much. Oh, and yesterday, M.O., I got a PayPal from you, and I didn't see it until after I had finished. It was either yesterday or the day before, but very sorry about that. But I did get a PayPal from M.O. If you know who you are, thank you very much. But yes, so as I was saying, they want to talk about this, but they're afraid of losing access. They are afraid of losing access to that institution, and that is what prevents them from talking about it. But what has been brewing with William has been going on for such a long time, right? What has been brewing has been going on for a long time, and they have been prevented from speaking about it. And one of the big reasons is because of the invisible contract. When William accepted that undisclosed amount that he received when he made a deal with the devil, or Rupert Murdoch, when he received that, that bought him a certain amount of protection, allegedly. And from then on, all of a sudden, it's been nothing bad written about him and about Kate. And the public is so fickle that they really do believe, and I'm not saying most of the public, it's not most of the public. It certainly is not most of the public. It's not even most of the British public. They don't believe all of that stuff. I don't suppose they believe most of it. But the most vocal troublemakers, the most vocal, sometimes it only takes a minority of people to make a situation really terrible. Because the misinformation, because of the lies, it invokes hostility toward people who live their lives in the public. That includes, of course, the Sussexes. There's a certain amount of hostility. There are some very fragile people out there, people that, for lack of a better word, are one tree short of a hammock, that feel the need to stop a public figure. They feel like they have to punish a public figure. They feel like they know these public figures, or they know better how to deal with them. And that's the scary part, because they know who the public figures are, but in a lot of cases, we have no clue who they are. And we don't know what they're carrying or what they're capable of. And that's a worry. That is a worry. Nobody articulated it better than Jeremy Vine. Jeremy Vine, who day after day has wreaked havoc with his television show. He knows it better than anyone, but yet he pretends otherwise. He wants to play the devil's advocate. Either that or he's just evil. Terry Carver, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being here, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. But Jeremy Vine knows better. Going to share it with you.
Case is that you're fired on from all directions. Every time you open your phone, he's there. Every time you turn on your computer, he's there. And you know that what he's doing is he's adjusting or despoiling your digital self. Now, you may say, well, that doesn't matter, you just come offline. But the fact is that, you know, we live 70, 80, 90 years, but our digital presence goes on forever. And you can see yourself being dismantled. And you can't see it ending.
The judge actually said when he sentenced Belfield, you didn't meet or physically approach or watch any of your victims as a traditional stalker might have done. Your methods were, however, just as effective as a way of intimidating your victims and were in many ways much harder to deal with.
The danger came from the online traffic, not from the individual. I would have done anything to meet this guy and have a conversation with him face to face. He wouldn't have been threatening, he was probably a coward. But what he wanted to do was create so much hatred against me that someone acted by proxy. I'm absolutely certain that he knows, with 400,000 people watching those videos, that at some point someone is going to take a knife or acid to my home. Or the other thing is, he gets one of his victims to take their own life. We heard about someone trying exactly that in the court case, one of the victims. 2 of them described themselves as becoming suicidal. That is not to be taken lightly. I think if the courts hadn't stopped Alex Belfield, somebody would have died.
Someone who stalks in person, we imagine to be hiding in the shadows. But what Alex Belfield and his army of followers was doing was in plain sight. Everyone could see it on Twitter and YouTube.
It's extraordinary. And I think there's a business model here, and this case has broken it, which is great news for everyone. But the original business model was started by Alex Jones in the USA, and it's basically selling massive amounts of misinformation on the basis that often lies are more interesting than truth.
Alex Jones is the man who said the Sandy Hook shooting did not happen.
That's right.
And was recently sued for libel by the parents of one of the children who was killed.
Correct. So you create a market for lies.
Well, that right there was a lie. Alex Jones, he's accusing Alex Jones of having started that? Seriously? He is accusing Alex Jones of being the person who has started this type of misinformation. Totally ignoring his nation of birth and the industry that has fueled so much hate that I say is leading to the decline of Western civilization, and that is the British tabloid media. How do you ignore that and skip your way all the way over to Alex Jones? How is that possible? Yeah, Alex Jones is responsible for a lot of terrible things. However, to ignore the British tabloid media and go straight to Alex Jones, that is quite a leap. And how can someone who I believe is modestly intelligent, like Jeremy Vine, how could you say something so stupid, so misleading, so deliberately misleading? And I believe it started with Alex Jones over in the USA. Liar. That's a lie. Not even worthy of someone like you. That is a lie. Why I'm enjoyed speculation. You know how certain activities in rugs are causing serious illness or death lately. Who supplies the royal rugs? Uncle Gary. Uncle Gary's gone too. Oh, yeah. Rugs can cause serious. Them doggone carpets. I guess whoever does the vacuuming, who knows how fit the person is that's doing all the vacuuming. You know what I mean? Thank you so much for your comment. Lottie, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being here. Oh, and YM Joy, thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. I believe it was Alex Jones over in the USA. Do you really? Yes, you took the words right out of my mouth. You took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what it is. Okay, so Paksitani Will, or the Paksitani Prince, they've announced that after all of this humiliation that he suffered, with the no show and with his new peace in the Middle East thing, he has decided that he is. Oh, by the way, he's going to do some engagements this week or next week. But yeah, they're going to shame him out of his house. And of course, if he comes out, then we know we got 6 more weeks of winter. Yeah, I think that's how it works. Pansatani Will. Okay, where in the world is Kate Middleton? Now that is the question of the day. Where is Kate Middleton? People want to know. These are non-squatties that are asking the question. And by the way, you all, this is the most popularity that Kate Middleton has ever had, because you have a lot of people who otherwise ignore the royal family, ignore Will and Kate, asking, where is Kate Middleton? Where's she at? Where's she at? Now, the latest rumors are in. Kate Middleton is reportedly the 14th and final celebrity to have signed up for the brand new series of Celebrity Big Brother starting Monday night on ITV. Yeah. You know what, guys? You need only tune in to ITV on Monday, and they may have an answer to the question that has, I guess, what is the word I'm looking for, that has overwhelmed us? Is that it? Well, anyway, they have the answer to the question. Where is Kate Middleton? That pervasive question, where is Kate Middleton? Well, look for her on Monday night on the newest celebrity, Big Brother. Yeah. Check her out on the Celebrity Big Brother. And then, of course, someone on Twitter says, lots of luck. I'm sorry, lots to look forward to this Easter. Who's going to rise first? You see what I mean? This is taking on a life of its own. Who's going to rise first? Good question. Hey, Big Mama. And then also the Sanford police, can people please stop reporting Kate Middleton as a missing person? We are not interested in investigating those claims. Yeah. If you all have been calling the Sanford police, please stop. The Sanford police are not interested in the question of the day. Where is Kate Middleton? They're not going to investigate. They don't care. And they're certainly not interested. So stop asking. All right? Stop asking. If they cannot find Amelia Earhart, they're certainly not going to look for Kate Middleton. If they haven't found that Nazi gold train, or if they cannot find the, the Amber Room of St. Petersburg, if they cannot find the Amber Room, if they cannot find El Dorado, they're certainly not going to find Kate Middleton. So cease and desist. Stop asking, where's Kate Middleton? Although I'm willing to try Big Brother. I will try Big Brother. Let me see. Oh, Lorna Williams, I heard that people are wondering if she's at the Willy Wonka land, which would make a lot of sense because, as you know, she is married to someone who is obsessed with pulled pork sandwiches. So, yeah, that would make sense. When you're married to someone who is obsessed with pulled pork sandwiches, it only stands to reason that the Wonka land might be your next stop. Reba Henderson says, UK media trolls know they are hypocrites, liars, abusers, ignorant. They just do not like being called racist. They know that is exactly their character. Jeremy Vine is top of the list. Thank you, Reba Henderson. Thank you very much. Let me see. Yeah, and they haven't found Jimmy Hoffa. Yeah, Jedi Knight says, or if they can't find Jimmy Hoffa, then they can't find Kate. But you know what, Jedi Knight? I don't think they're ever going to find Jimmy Hoffa, and I'll tell you why. Because there was a local diner that was, they used to have a daily breakfast special, pancakes and sausages. But then for some unknown reason, they started a new special called Pancakes and Jimmy Hoffages. Pancakes and Jimmy Hoffages. While supplies last. For a limited time only, there was a diner near the restaurant where he was last seen that started selling pancakes and Jimmy Hoffages as their morning special. So I don't think we're ever going to... I don't think we're ever going to find him. And just for the record, I would never eat pancakes and Jimmy Hoffages. Well, he certainly wasn't in Lake Mead, was he? That was tacky, wasn't it? That was pretty tacky. I love it. And our morning special, pancakes and Jimmy Hoffages, for a limited time only while supplies last. Well, we still haven't figured out exactly what goes into the McRib, have we? Yeah, we have never figured out what's inside of the McRib. So if we can figure out that mystery meat that makes the McRib, I think we might have a better chance of finding Jimmy Hoffa. You think she's with Elvis? Well, there's more theories. You wait. There's more theories. How about this one? Kate Middleton just went to get BBL. She's fine. Yeah, there are some people, and mind you, these were all from the interweb. There were more people who started believing. You can see it on this list right here. It says here, on much less serious side of things, the internet, particularly X users, was memeing where she might be. Growing out her bangs, right? She may be growing out some bangs. Working at the Glasgow Willy Wonka experience, at the 97-year-old New York City diner that serves is Coke and old-fashioned, I forget something that got cut off there. Filming Celebrity Big Brother, we talked about that one. Sacrificed in some way to bolster King Charles' health. Well, if they need a virgin, that wouldn't have worked 30 years ago. If it was a virgin sacrifice, that wouldn't have worked 30 years ago. Let me see. Recovering from some sort of face or body altering surgery with BBL, getting the most attention as BBL recovery time even begins to rise in Google searches alongside her name. Isn't that something? People are searching Kate Middleton's name, and at the same time, they're searching for the recovery time for BBL. And then next on the list, or living out her true identity, Banksy, because we haven't seen any new Banksys since she's been missing, right? Searches for Banksy's identity were also rising. Isn't that something? They are wondering if Kate Middleton is Banksy. And if you guys don't know who Banksy is, that's that artist that does those, what do you call them? He spray paints, he uses those, is it stencils? Yeah, he uses a stencil to spray paint those images. And then next thing you know, they're worth a lot of money. So, yeah, she could actually be Banksy, huh? How about this one? Many also made jokes about calling in these reinforcements to help find her. Mariska Hargitay from Law and Order, Special Victims Unit, the Super Nanny, and the Taylor Swift Easter Egg Hunters. Others argue that the royal family health and surrounding gossip was surely enough to entice writers back from another season of The Crown. Yeah. Well, you know what? Speaking of which, take a look here. I remain deeply concerned about the terrible human cost of the conflict in the Middle East. Now, I want you to take a look at this. Take a look at this. This is William's response to the ongoing conflict and genocide in the Middle East, right? It took him since October to come up with this, or at the very least, to ask someone to write it. But look at this. It's all about William. It makes no mention of Kate or us, just I. And the cipher, as I pointed out the other day, it wasn't their cipher, it's his cipher. I remain. I like. I continue. I refuse. I. And there's no I's in Kate. Only William. So Willie Leaks thinks a lot of himself and doesn't care to mention his wife. Most times you'll notice that these things are from the couple, husband and wife, right? Or even husband and husband. But in this instance, it's just from Willie, as though he hasn't been married for the past, 12 years, 13 years? Interesting. And then someone posted this. I saw this at the supermarket last night. The display date just makes Catherine being MIA more suspicious. The back cover picture is from Christmas 2023, right? Well, yeah, it is. It is. This person is not a squatty, right? This person's not a squatty, not a supporter of the Sussexes. But if you go to hashtag where is Kate Middleton, you'll see that people have been randomly posting things. So right there is the date 3/4/24. I'm not sure what the person's point was for this, because it would be difficult to find new photos of someone who's been missing since Christmas. It would be very difficult to find new photos. So the fact that this magazine has an old photo, but they're still writing about Kate Middleton like she's up and active and still doing royal duty, even though we have not seen her since Christmas. So yeah, that's it. And that center part, that part in the middle, I've read through those names. I don't know what her point was with that, but anyway, this is what someone shared on Twitter. And then right here, I'm no royalist, but I find it strange Kate Middleton seems to have disappeared from UK media since last year. I think she's going to return, but played by a different actress, like in Coronation Street with Tracy Barlow. And the other guy down there at the bottom, he says, I'm going upstairs to play me some tapes. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds shady. And so when I thought about it, I said, you know what? Why don't they just try to get that actress from The Crown? I mean, just like the real Kate Middleton, she seems to have that vacant look in her eyes, and she seems to not be all together there most days. So why don't they just get her? I mean, that's why they hired her, is because she has that vacant look, that funny glare or glance, just like Kate Middleton. So why not hire her? Yeah. I mean, I don't think most people would notice the difference. Now, there is certain things that she's going to have to do in order to be convincing. And that, of course, is until the real Kate Middleton comes back, she's going to have to learn how to do jazz hands. I think she needs to watch some of those old Fosse dance routines. And if she does that enough, then she will learn how to, fill in for Kate until she decides to come back, or until she's better, whichever comes first. But yeah, that's all. She just needs to learn the fine art of jazz hands, and she can easily step in for Kate Middleton, and then people stop worrying, right? I think one is about as convincing as the other. All that jazz. Welcome. Dun, 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 dun. Welcome. Money, 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 money. I'm thinking about that movie, Cabaret. Yeah, that's all she needs to do is watch Cabaret, and she'll get those moves, and next thing you know, she'll be filling in for her. Now, it's been a while since we've done this, but since we miss her so much, right? Since we miss her, I think it's very important. And you know what? It might even help to bring her back sooner. But I think it's important that we reach out to Kensington Palace for comment, because it's been a while, right? So let's reach out to Kensington Palace for comment.
Well, obviously it'd be, I would love to have met her, and and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to, obviously on to this day, and going forward and things. It is, it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
You know what? I kind of miss her, and after all this time, I still don't know what she just said. I have no clue. But nobody has ever not said anything. Nobody has ever misrepresented themselves and not said anything as well as Kate Middleton. So wherever you are, Kate, get well soon. Get well soon. Come on back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy Dean. Oh well. She's out there somewhere. Kate's recovery isolation will be difficult despite support from Prince William and the Middletons. Well, like I said, they're not giving us much information. There are some people who seem to believe that there's a sanitarium in Switzerland. I've heard a convent in Tierra del Fuego. Some log cabin up in the Laplands. She's got to be out there somewhere. And wherever she is, if the Sussex Squad Detective Agency looks for her, then we'll solve this. But until then, we'll just have to wait until the palace decides to release some new information. But she's out there somewhere. She's out there somewhere. Now, this is kind of odd, isn't it? Revealed, BA pilot Robert Brown was just jailed for bludgeoning his wife. Ugh. Well, anyway, it's very violent. But I want you to take notice something. Does he or does he not look just like that actor from The Crown, the one that played Prince Charles, Dominic West? He looks just like Dominic West. And I kept looking at it. I'm like, is this a movie? No, it's Robert Brown. It's Robert Brown. Someone who, done some terrible things, and a BA pilot. This is someone who was flying a plane. This is a pilot. Oh, yeah. He looks just like Dominic West. I mean, they could be brothers. They could be twins. I mean, if you take a little bit of that, glamour away from Dominic West, they would be twins. Absolute twins. Anyway, yeah, a poor man's version of Dominic West. I just can't believe that someone capable of something like that would actually have been a pilot. Someone with all that responsibility could have been capable of doing something like that. It's pretty scary. Prince still doesn't get it. And there he is, strutting his stuff, stomping down the avenue with family in tow. This seems to have outraged a few people, but it's almost impossible to use this to take the heat off of Prince William, because Prince William really messed up yesterday. He should have gone to that event. He had no logical excuse to not be there if he wasn't feeling well. And see, there has been a patterns of lies and misrepresentation with William. Like, for instance, when they lied and said that he did not have, the pandemic, substitute the word, will you? When they lied about the pandemic, and then when they finally confessed to it, it turns out that he was actually a lot worse off than what Charles was when he was stricken with it, right? But they didn't even tell anybody when it happened. And of course, there's his record with the air ambulance, a very sparse record because he barely showed up for work. And there's a lot of things that they have covered for William for some 42 years. 42 years. Well, let's just say 30 years. For at least 30 years, they have been covering for William. But eventually, the cover is going to be blown, and we're going to hear the unvarnished truth, and I can't wait for it. Harry could have wrote about it, but he chose to protect his brother's privacy. William is very angry because of Spare, they say, but he shouldn't be so angry because at least Harry is not sharing everything as well he should have, but he didn't. So now take a look at that. Kate Middleton, your best friend 1 minute, your worst enemy the next, expert claims. Prince Harry, your best friend 1 minute, and your worst enemy the next, expert claims. And of course, in both instances, the person who wrote this story was Benedict Tetzlaff's Dees. Same person. This has still not been explained to anyone's satisfactory. As a matter of fact, they haven't even attempted to explain it. They just went back and changed it and said nothing. 1 minute is about Kate, and then next thing you know, it's about Harry. Same article. This is one of those ones where I'm glad that people took screenshots. I'm glad they took screenshots because this may be important down the line. And when it does become important, we'll have the evidence. B. Martim, Baron, what does Afro Annie got on Lord? Thank you so much. Lord Nappyhead is right. Let me see. What does Afro Annie have on Lord Nappyhead? Well, I think that Anne, as bizarre as she may appear most days, she probably doesn't have any secrets. With Princess Anne, what you see is what you get. The Afro Annie that you see here is the same Afro Annie that lives like Fred G. Sanford. There's probably nothing to tell. Afro Annie is such a singular individual, but she seems to be pretty, free of controversy. Is Zara the Tongue Ring Tendo that, kind of has a interesting existence, her and her husband. The one whose nose did not collapse from baking soda, but from playing rugby. That's the reason why his nose collapses, because of rugby, not baking soda. That's about it, but I don't think there's anything about Afro Annie. If there is, please let me know because I haven't heard of anything. Let's see. Here's another instance where they switch things around. Met Police confused Meghan Markle with Kate Middleton on report on Sarah Everhart vigil. Or how about this one? A royal butterfly. Duchess of Sussex captured Charlotte's wonder as she cradles fragile insect. You really have to wonder sometime, is this for clicks? Are they being shady? Did someone make a mistake? Well, with the story with the Sarah Everhart vigil, that was done by the Met Police, deliberately so, I would imagine. They had to write a police report about the incident, to the likes of which several women were brutally beaten by the Met Police for violating the indoors rule during the pandemic. But Kate Middleton broke the law by going down to the vigil without a mask even. Most people there were wearing a mask, except for the children, of course. And Kate Middleton Well, she chose not to wear a mask. She wanted to make sure everybody could see her at the Sarah Everhart vigil. Obviously spurned on by one of her courtiers who thought it would look good for her if she shows the public that she cares about something more than trying to dress like her sister-in-law. So she went down there breaking the law, and whose name did they put on the police report? Meghan's, who was 5,000 miles away. Or how about this? Fit for a king. Inside the plane the royals used as Kate Middleton and Prince William jet into Belize. However, one of the local papers, assuming that if there's a royal visit, it must be Harry, they wrote in pictures, Prince Harry and Kate Middleton, or Kate, Prince Harry and Kate arrive in Belize to begin Caribbean tour. Now you can understand why William is so jealous. It looks like Fanny Willis, looks like she's going to be able to continue, right? I think I saw that earlier, although I could not find anything, believe it or not, I couldn't find anything concrete. But I think she's going to get to stay as the lead prosecutor or whatever. So I hope so, because it's a chance to humiliate the Orange Menace, and I'm here for that. Now, Buckingham Palace has announced the Princess Royale will visit Dubai on Friday as president of the Mission to Seafarers, which provides help and support to 1.89 million men and women who face danger every day to keep the global economy afloat. So I have no idea what that is exactly, but I'm guessing it has to do with the shipping industry, right? The merchant marines, the people who move the economy by moving goods throughout the world on those huge cargo ships. And so, because of the dangers of piracy or just plain attack, I guess the secret weapon, not only for the royal family, but also for the high seas, is Afro Annie. Now, I don't know if she's going to, if she's got like some kind of special hair pick, or, is she like 007? Does she have like some kind of pack of Newports that also involves weaponry of the next generation, the kind that we have never seen before? I don't know what she's supposed to do. But apparently, there's something about Afro Annie that is going to help the global shipping industry. Or maybe she's just going to hang out and to keep them company. I mean, think about it. She helped Napoleon during the Napoleonic War. She was there. She helped inspire and motivate Napoleon Bonaparte. So if she can help Napoleon, then surely she can help some of those cargo ships that find themselves under attack, to help keep and boost morale, right? And plus, I mean, let's face it, anytime there's if you were a sailor and you were at sea for months at a time, and you were in need of just some companionship, nothing dirty, but if you were just in need of a woman's voice and just a little companionship, it wouldn't hurt to have a nice chat with the you know what I mean? When you come off those cargo ships, everybody looks like Lola Falana. When you come off those cargo ships, everybody look like Farrah Fawcett or you know what I'm saying, Lil Kim. Everybody looks like that when you get off those long, lonely voyages on those cargo ships. And so just like Marilyn Monroe going to Vietnam, or was it Vietnam or was it Korea? Just like Marilyn Monroe going to Korea during the Korean War to entertain the troops. Well, you can have the Princess Royale go over there and entertain and talk to some of the merchant marine. You know what I'm saying? With all her charm and her charm, it'll be just what they need, right? So I can see why they're sending her. Oh man. As a matter of fact, if she will do a number for them, if somebody can convince her to sing a song like horse racing is a girl's best friend, right? Put her in one of those Marilyn Monroe dresses and have her sing horse racing is a girl's best friend, something like that. I'm pretty sure that she will inspire everyone around with her sassiness. Yeah, there's something so sassy about her. So I could imagine the Merchant Marines probably requested her personally. Oh man. Anyway, only thing is, she's going to take Tim Lawrence with her, Sir Timothy Lawrence. But I think he's going to be very careful to make sure that he doesn't allow her to pack his hat, because the last time Afro Annie packed his hat, you see what happened to it. He had to go through all that humiliation of riding around in the carriage and going to see all the sights and talking to people with his hat all smushed up. So, he probably won't let her pack his hat this time. Oh yeah, and some good news, you guys. Prince Harry makes surprise appearance at Formula One. Remember that? That was last October, right? Well, here's the good news. Better Up is working with Formula One now. We're proud to announce Better Up is partnering with the Mercedes AMG Formula One team to bring mental strength, resilience, and agility to the racetrack, all in the name of performance. So when Harry went to the Formula One, it wasn't just for leisure. I think he was actually there to promote as well. But who's a better person to promote than Prince Harry? The man who took nothing and turned it into one of the biggest events on the planet. And that, of course, the Invictus Games. So he was a great fit for Better Up, and he has helped to expand the company several times over. Better Up was valued at like, I forgot how many billions of dollars, but Better Up is in a much better place because they brought on Prince Harry as the Chief Impact Officer. So there you go. And with that, you guys, I am just about done, I think. Am I? Yeah, that's it. I am done. So see you guys next time. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. And thank you all for your very generous and thoughtful donations and support for Royal Sussex, B. Martim, YM Droid, Lottie, Terry Carver, B. Martim, Laverne Showers, and Eva Berglund. And I think there was, Elaine Parker. You know what? Some of the other ones did not Remember I said I don't know why I don't see those? But yeah, some of the other donations, it wasn't on there. For some reason, that didn't kick in until after Eva. Maybe it's surprised that I'm on so early. So for the rest of you that donated, thank you very much as well. Okay. And also thank you for the PayPals that I received. And I'm trying to think, was there something else? Nope, we're good. We are so good. Subscribe, share, don't. And yes, we believe Harry and Meghan. We believe them. And Doria too. And now, finally, they have convinced enough other people that what they said is true and accurate. Okay. All right. So good night, everyone, or good morning to you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Elaine Parker, for staying up with us. And thank you, Connie Baumer, for staying up with us. All right. A lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. A lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Just one look at you. I know. Just one look at you. Oh, yeah, the look. The look. And he's never stopped giving her that look, has he? Never stopped giving her that look. Telling you, something wrong with that man. There's something terribly wrong with him. Which is the same thing they were saying about the Orange Menace. And you know, he reminds people of the Orange Menace, and that is scary by itself, that he even reminds people of the Orange Menace. With a incredible, I guess, ego. You know how the Orange Menace decided he wasn't going to do the debates anymore? He just didn't do it. It didn't cost him anything, so he didn't do it. He decided tradition was not enough of an excuse for him to do the debates. The same way somebody just decided, I won't go to the prayer service or remembrance or whatever. Why should I bother? It's not going to cost me anything, so he didn't go. And that is how he intends to reign once he gets on the throne. He's just going to pick and choose what he wants to do, and people will have no choice but to take it. A lot of people said that when the Queen died, that she took the monarchy with her. A lot of people said when the Queen died, she took the monarchy with her. And I'm inclined to believe that that's true. When the Queen died, the monarchy died with her. Y'all don't forget there's another Sussex friendly space at the top of the chat. Oh, really? Is there something good? Is there something good? I'll go check it out. Thank you. Let me see. Oh, anyway, when you see our queens, it is time to go. You know what I mean. So there's that. And now the last word of the day, which of course, let me find a lovely prayer to end with. And speaking of prayers, you guys, don't forget to pray for Jerry White, who's having surgery soon. And she's asking for your prayers. So please keep her in your prayers. Okay, let me find something for today. Something to unite us and bring us all together. I hope. No, not that one. Not that one either. Oh, yeah. This one is a good one. Okay. This is a good one. Let me move it over here so I can share it with you guys. And if you just tuned in, please don't forget to hit that like button. We are done for today. I'm just closing it out. I am closing it out. Excuse me. There we go. This one. Right. So, the Protestant prayer. Heavenly Father, grant me joyful acceptance of the surgery which awaits me, and let this be the relief and cure which I seek. Make skill the work of the surgeon, and that his team, for it is unto their knowledge and skill that I give myself for healing. I pray to you, O Lord, that this procedure will be without complication, and that my recovery will be speedy and complete. Amen. Okay, so that's for you, Jerry White, and anybody else who is about to have surgery. Sure. I'll try to come on early again. Yeah, let's try for tomorrow. Maybe the same time tomorrow. Maybe even a little earlier. We'll see how it goes. Should be fun. All right. So that's it then. Thank you very much, everyone. And thank you all for watching Royal Sussex.
My wife. My wife. My wife and I. My wife and I. My wife and I. My wife and I. For me and my wife. Me and my wife. I'm so proud of my wife. My incredible wife. And an amazing wife. The soulmate in my wife. Thank you, my love. The mother to my children. The love of my life. My wife. My wife. My wife. My wife and I. My wife and I. My wife and I. My wife and I. For me and my wife. Me and my wife. I'm so proud of my wife. My incredible wife. And an amazing wife. The soulmate in my wife. Thank you, my love. The mother to my children. The love of my life.
That's how it's done, you guys. That's how it's done. Earlier today, I saw them saying, oh, they can teach the Sussexes a thing or two about privacy. And I was thinking to myself, exactly what can the Sussexes teach them? Yeah, if William wants to teach someone about privacy, Harry can probably teach him a thing or two, right?
My wife. My wife. My wife.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's a good education right there. Love your wife. Okay. Good night, y'all.